Mr. Adam Parsons, how are we doing this morning?
Hey, I'm doing good, John.
Excellent. We're bright and early talking acquisitions, talking PropStream, talking about the best lists in 2021. Are you excited?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, maybe I'm bringing too much energy this morning, but it should be good. So tell me a little bit about who you are, Adam.
Yeah. So Adam Parsons, I'm the acquisitions manager with Greenline Investments.
Excellent.
And
How
have
long?
been since what's that?
I was going to say, how long have you been doing it? Which I think is what
Yeah, I've been doing acquisitions since March of 2020.
Nice. And what does it mean to be an acquisitions manager?
Yeah, essentially we find the deals. All the deals come through us. We have to contact the leads, or I should say, find the leads first. And we're going to get into that when we talk about PropStream and how to find the deals. And then we contact the leads and close the deals, of course, and get that over to our contract to close. But my job is to not only to contact all the leads and close them, but to also manage the lead specialist. And we currently have 3 lead specialists also helping us qualify the leads that we pull from all these lists from PropStream.
Gotcha. So we're contacting leads, trying to qualify them, and then you talk to them. What do you think is the difference between, maybe a great acquisitions manager and someone who's not doing well? Like what makes you awesome at your job?
Yeah, really, it's just finding the leads and stacking the list on PropStream. And then obviously, to be a great acquisitions manager, I believe you got to close deals. And so far with Greenline Investments, we've closed over 50 deals since we started as a new wholesaling company. So feel really comfortable with that. And, anything to do with sales.
Nice. So one thing I'm excited to talk about this morning is these lists on PropStream. A lot of people hear about these lists, but they're not exactly sure what it is. They're not sure how to use it. PropStream is $100 a month, which seems a little steep to get data, but I'm hoping we can demystify it. So why do we use PropStream? Why? Let me just leave it there. Why do we use PropStream?
Yeah, well, we use PropStream. It's one, it's super easy. It has the interface just like any of your mainstream realtor platforms, such as like Zillow or Realtor.com. Has many of the same filters and so forth, so you can get accustomed to it fairly easy. So it's really easy to use. It has access to the MLS, so a lot of the information your realtors have, you also have within PropStream, which is really nice. And then you can just stack way more lists. We'll talk about what list stacking is, but you're able to stack way more data in order to find the lead and niche it down to what you want and what you're looking for.
Nice. Gotcha. So I know some people just pull from public records. So is this the same as going to, like my county's website? Could I just go to my county's website and get the same information?
Yeah, you most definitely can go to your county website. It's not going to give you all the same information and the same indicators. But yeah, you can most definitely do that. I don't know how efficient that will be. And that's why, the $100, it seems like a lot up front, especially when you're starting off with very low entry money to get into. But it's definitely worth your investment to, splurge on that $100 and then have access to all the leads and not really have to comb through your county records.
Nice. Okay, so let's jump into it. I want to give you this as a starting off point, right? Like let's check out PropStream. If you can give us a little bit of like, what are we looking at? And then let's say let's just pick a city. Omaha, Nebraska is the first one that popped in my head. And let's say if I lived in Omaha, Nebraska, how could I use PropStream to help me find deals?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so when you log into PropStream initially, once you have your login all in, you'll come to this screen. This is your welcome screen. And again, you up here on the search bar, you can search for whatever it is that you're looking for. You can niche it down right to the address as well. So if you're looking to comp a specific property, you can put the full address up here and it'll pull up that property. And then of course, all the surrounding properties. Yeah, we won't get into all the other stuff here, but we'll look up Omaha, Nebraska. And when I was talking about Zillow and how this is really similar to that is, as you can see, it's got the map with all the little pins and then the properties as well that pulls up. When we just type in Omaha, Nebraska, you know, initially when I'm pulling lists and we're going into a new market, we'll go ahead and type in the city that we're looking to get into. And then we're going to come over here by unique properties. You know, here there's 212,000 properties. Obviously, we don't want to pull a list that big. It hasn't been narrowed down whatsoever. So we are going to come.
If I lived in Omaha, you know, and there's a 14-day trial with PropStream as well. So if I lived in Omaha, signed up for PropStream for 14 days, I type in Omaha, Nebraska, I see the 200,000. Then what? Where do I go to find these deals? How do I do this?
Yeah, absolutely. So type in Omaha, Nebraska. You're going to come up here to the filter button. Some of this is my share thing is covering up some of this here, so bear with me. And it's going to pull up the search options, and this is where we're going to narrow and whittle down that 212,000 K list here. So owner occupied. Initially, we are going to try to. You might not have a lot of money to invest up front. Maybe it's 5,000, maybe it's 4,000, but I like to go after tired landlords, and there's a few ways to go about that. But bottom line is you want to take this really large list and narrow it down to a few thousand people. And as you get comfortable, you can add to that. But tired landlord, you're going to go to owner occupied and put no. And then our owner occupancy is going to be any. And then property characteristics. Now, here it's whatever you're looking for. You know, in Grayline, we're interested in the single family home, but you can add, you know, condos and townhomes, multifamily, really depending on your market as well, what that's going to be. And property characteristics, MLS status. You want off-market deals, so we put no here for MLS status. And then now you can definitely niche the list down and get into pre-foreclosures. You can identify all the tired landlords that may be on the pre-foreclosure list as well. Ownership. So recently, we just started adding 3-year minimum for ownership, but to narrow the list down, I would start at 5 years. 5 years, no max on the ownership, and then let's see, same thing with liens, bankruptcy, and the divorce status. Just like pre-foreclosure, you can add this all on top of the list if you'd like, just to narrow it down and make it a more distressed list. We call that list stacking. And then you're going to come down to valuation and equity. And this is really market dependent. I don't know what it is in Omaha. I imagine it's not too crazy there. So we'll start with 80,000 on the low end, and then on the max, we'll put 250,000. Seems like a reasonable single family home in Omaha, Nebraska. And then equity. All right. So this is equity is also going to change depending on your strategy. But here at Grayline, we at least like to search for properties with 20% equity. It gives us pretty much all our options when we're talking about exit strategies on the property. And right there, you have a list You can screenshot this if you're going to use PropStream or looking for a tired landlord. Like I said, years of ownership, the longer you make that, I guess the more tired or distressed that landlord will be. And I'd also like to, where is it? Yeah, so you can also pick out of state. So the absentee owner location, out of state. And that's another great way. Get that out of state landlord, had his house over 5 years and so forth. At this point, he might be tired of renting. So as you can see, we're still at Omaha, Nebraska, pretty big list. We're still at 15,000 leads here.
Okay, so you went through, you filtered, you got it from 200,000 to 15,000. So we're in the right ballpark. But let's go ahead and see. Let's say we want to be somewhere around 5,000. So what are some additional filters we could throw on here to get our list down to like the 5,000 people you think are most likely to sell in Omaha, Nebraska?
Yeah, absolutely. We can go to absentee owner location and just hit out of state.
Okay, so now these are all absentee owners, so they don't live in the property. And not only do they not live in the property, but they live out of state.
Yep. Yeah, okay, correct. That brings us down to just under 1,400.
Oh, nice, nice.
And then where was I? Ownership. Let's uncheck that and let's add liens to this.
Okay, so someone tired landlord, out of state, and they have a lien. Okay, so this is the list stacking we talked about.
Okay, so pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. All right, so a great feature that PropStream has is there's a quick list here. And typically once we get done pulling our tired landlord criteria, we can run through this list as well for all the other distress lists. As you can see them all here, these are different type of distress lists that you can look for. And again, same thing applies. You can put down all your criteria. This has got tired landlords, the list that we pulled, same evaluations and equity along with liens. And yeah, now we're stacking our list, and it's brought it down to 20. Obviously a really, really small list, but if you're doing mailers or anything of that nature, maybe it's local and looking to hang stuff on their door or whatever, this would be a good way to do that as well.
So going into 2021, everyone wants to know, like, what's the perfect list criteria? So what is there a perfect list criteria, or how do you answer that question?
Yeah, I'd like to think that there's no perfect list out there. It really is like, what are you going to be good at? What's your niche? What's your market? How much money you have also, at Grayline, we would target a list that has 15,000. When it comes to tired landlord, we've skip traced up to 25,000 on the tired landlord list. So, yeah, there's really no be all do all list out there. Although everybody wants to find that, of course, there really isn't, and it's mission dependent and or not mission, but market dependent. But yeah, there's really no list that catches it all.
Gotcha. I just clicked off the PropStream screen, but let's go back to it real quick. Can you just go through that kind of quick poll criteria and show us those quick polls real quick, just to give us an idea? We won't go into it on this one, but just some other criteria that we could pull on PropStream.
Yeah. So other criteria, some of the big ones that we pull here is our vacant list. This is going to pull up all the vacant properties, and then liens. We just did that one. Pre-foreclosures, This is anybody that's just before they go into foreclosure. This list you want to kind of hit immediately after you pull, because this list will actually change every month or so. New people will come on it and new people will go off of it. We don't do any options, bank owned or cash buyers. So cash buyers is actually a good list to pull if you're looking for cash buyers. And then bankruptcy, again, we don't really get into it. Some people make a lot of money off of that list, but we haven't cracked it yet. Divorce, really good list to get into as well. Tax delinquencies, and what I found, even by county, some of these counties don't report these numbers the same way other counties would, such as divorce and tax delinquencies. But failed listings, we start getting to MLS then. These are people that have marketed their home on the MLS and it failed to sell. So these are really good ones. One, you kind of know their anchor point, because in PropStream, it'll tell you that it failed to sell and what that price was. So it's kind of nice. You have an anchor price to go after. You know how far under the ARV they went. Senior owners, we don't target that either, but that's something you could also pull. We don't get into vacant land. Tired landlords, there's a quick pull for it. And then zombie properties. These are people basically, the house is vacant, the mailman has been delivering mail and like nobody's been accepting it. That is the list in a nutshell. I don't know if you wanted me to go through and pull any of that, John, but
No, I think that I was hoping to do initial kind of like, hey, what is PropStream? We show the screen. So I think we're in a good spot. I think the power of PropStream is if you're going to do outbound marketing, and outbound marketing being, hey, I want to make phone calls or text messages, ringless voicemails, direct mail. It's like, how do you get that list? And you can type in how to get motivated buyer lists on Google, and there's plenty of people that'll send you lists. But what PropStream does is it empowers you to look at your numbers, to filter by different things, and get the list that you think is going to respond to those direct marketing pieces best. So we use it in our business. I think it's super valuable. We could do our business without PropStream, but our business would look completely different. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. And then one thing I do want to mention about PropStream that's awesome, and this sounds like a PropStream commercial, but it is such a powerful platform, and you can test it out for free for 14 days. So I'd check it out just so you like the first time I did it, I just got the 14-day free trial and then I canceled it. But like my mind was blown on the possibilities because it's got nationwide access. So you can look up these properties in any city in the country. So you can start looking at different markets. And as virtual real estate investors, what we like to do is say, hey, how do we compare this one city in the United States to this city in a different part of the US? And I think it makes it easy to compare. What is something about PropStream that that you think the average person or the average real estate investor doesn't know, Adam?
I mean, outside of the efficiency of it, I use PropStream every day to comp properties, and Zillow can give you some decent ballpark comps, but that's exactly what it does. But PropStream, what I like about it is it gives me all the information, it gives me all the comparables within the radius I choose, and I can comp a property in a minute. I don't want you to hold me to that on a live call, of course, but I can comp a property within a minute and be able to call that person, knowing the ARV and everything. So, I mean, just the ability to comp a property so quickly without, having to play on Zillow. It's just really nice, really efficient. And then, all of our leads within our company, it all starts here at PropStream.
Nice. And then what about in a state like Texas, that's a non-disclosure state? Some people say, because that information is not necessarily in the public records, like you have to work with a real estate agent. Is that what you found, or do you use PropStream? Do we use PropStream in Texas as well?
That's not true. So on PropStream, we're able to find that data still. PropStream sources its data from multiple different places and so forth, county records and all that. But yeah, we're able to pull data in all 50 states, and we typically don't have any problem when it comes to finding comps and so forth on even properties out in the boonies of Texas. But we're in Texas a lot, so we don't have that problem there.
Nice. So let's do two more questions here, and then we'll wrap it up for this awesome Wednesday morning. What are your 2021 goals, Adam?
Oh man. Well, for the Green Line side, in 2020, I had a goal of $1 million in assignment fees for the company. And, that didn't happen for me. So I want to carry that goal over to 2021. And then really it's working, personally, it's working out 5 days a week. I've came close to that this past year. But yeah, really it's just working out 5 days a week, holding myself to that. And then of course those assignment fees on the company side.
Excellent. And then if people like what you're talking about, they find you interesting and engaging, how can someone get in contact with you, Adam?
Yeah, right here on Facebook, Adam Parsons. You can look me up. I'd like to think I'm the first couple that pop up, but and then of course on the Gray Line Facebook page, you can catch us on the virtual Facebook page too. I don't know the exact handle. Maybe I should know that.
Virtual real estate investing. I think it's just Facebook.
Virtual real estate investing. Yeah, that's our Facebook group. And then you can catch me on Instagram. I use Instagram pretty frequently at Parsons0927.
Gotcha. Excellent. Really appreciate your time this morning, Adam. I think together we're going to crush 2021, and I'm super pumped for it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Have a good morning.
All right. Take care.